Warning: tube amplifiers have lethal voltages inside them. Please do not attempt to build, test, or repair these without understanding and following all safety protocols. Hey y'all! Well, time for the parallel build of my 300B amps, and this is going to be our, what I'm calling the Super Deluxe version. We've got the base model that uses these smaller musical power supply output transformers and a little smaller choke. It's got a Hammond power transformer and that stuff. And then there's like the deluxe version, which would have the same black powder coated chassis as the base model, but it would have some better output transformers, probably some ISO FC20s, and then still going to have the Hammond power and choke. Put tube rings around the tubes to kind of dress up the amplifier and do some other kind of little upgrade cosmetics to differentiate it from the base model. And then this is going to be our Super Deluxe model. And I've got it sitting laid out on this steel powder coated chassis, but that's not what we're going to be using. I'm just kind of laying it out on this to make sure that all the components look like they'll fit on this footprint, which I think they're going to, which is a 17 by 12 plate. And it's going to be built similar to this chassis, where we have a, it's a pretty substantial thickness aluminum plate that's on the top that's going to have the transformers and everything mounted on, and then it's going to have a solid wood surround cabinetry, which gives it a really nice deluxe look. And I think instead of doing this oak and brushed aluminum like I've done in the past, I did that with a color preamp, and I also built my KT120 monoblocks in that same kind of style. I think that this is going to be a little more kind of upscale look to it. So instead of oak, I'm probably going to use walnut or maybe even mahogany, use some sort of really, deluxe wood. And I've got a woodworker that's done a lot of professional cabinet work that's willing to work with me on this deal. And he's going to do some really cool decorative stuff in the corners. We'll show all that when we get that done. And then I think I'm going to have the top plate black powder coated once I get it fabbed up. And I've got a batch of Phonostage chassis that I need to take over to the powder coater once I get those all fabricated up. So I'll have a nice big batch of stuff to take over to my powder coater. He's got like a $300 minimum. I don't blame him, because they don't just do powder coating. They do all kinds of metal coating, and they have to like set up the whole little powder coating area, so they don't like dealing with that and firing up the oven and all that for like small pieces. And so I want to get this metal plate ordered for the top and the bottom, and then take all that over to the powder coater at the same time. So the iron we're going to be using on this is these ISO Tango FC30 3.5K. And like, this isn't their most expensive. They've got a 40 watt, like it's a 2.7K, but I don't think it really works well with the operating point that I run these 300B tubes at. I try to be fairly gentle on them, so that when you run expensive tubes, you're going to get a super long life out of them. And I don't think it's worth bringing their necks to get another half a watt out of them. And you also get lower distortion not going with a lower impedance output transformer. So these 3.5K 30 watts are just, they work really great with the circuit that I'm planning on using, which is the same one that I published a couple of years ago. And quite a few people have built that Cascode 6SN7 300B circuit, and I've got nothing but compliments of how good it sounds. And I love the way mine sounds. And so I'm going to be using the same circuit for all these 300B amps, but as you get scaled up in price point, you get nicer iron. This one's going to have a dual rail power supply, which is more expensive. I may do that on my deluxe one as well. The base one's just going to get a LC RC power supply, where these more deluxe models, I can afford to put the double chokes inside them, and especially this one because I don't have to make room for a filament transformer either. This transformer has the filament windings in here, and this is a custom wound off my design by ISO. It's got 7 volt 2 amp windings that'll work with the LDO regulators, so it'll have a 5 volt regulated filament. And this is kind of a cost is no object deal. The customer that is commissioned this has basically said, you know, we kind of went back and forth on the design a little bit, but finally he was just like, you know what, I need to just let you build this like you were building it for yourself. I need to get out of the way. And I appreciate him a lot for saying that, because I know he had some things in mind, but they were kind of outside of what I thought was going to be a good design. And so I appreciate him just trusting me to build him something nice. And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember all the details, I'm pretty sure that he wanted a volume control, and there's plenty of room right here on this front corner to put a top-mounted volume control, so we're not putting it into the wood. I think that would look funky. And so we can have like a nice, you know, gold knob here on the top, put gold trim rings around that so it matches these little ISO badges. I think it would look really good with that dark wood. It'll give it a little pop. Again, I may reach out to him and see whether he wants silver or gold trim. Either one would look nice. And obviously I don't need to paint any of the iron to match because it's all ISO iron. And this is and I really did some research on this. This is their LE5 250D choke. It's a 5 Henry at 250 milliamp. It's made for condenser input, which is what we're going to be doing. And I know I've had people say, why don't you use choke input? I'm just comfortable doing condenser input. There you see, there was the rectifier tube. It's going to kind of sit here hidden behind this choke. I mean, you might see it peeking up a little bit, but probably not. And it's not that pretty a tube. The 5AR4 is nothing to write home about. So I'm fine with it just kind of sitting here between the choke and the power transformer. And I am making sure that I'm leaving enough edge here to have it set down in the rabbet in the wood. That's, you know, the difference with doing a wood chassis. And it's going to end up being, you know, a little bit bigger, maybe an inch in each dimension bigger than this. Will end up being like 18 by 13, something like that. But as you can see, there's not a lot of spare room with this iron, because this is some freaking big iron. And I don't want to turn these sideways. I think they look better in this orientation, and it gives us more front back room to kind of spread the tubes out and do the wiring and stuff for that. So yeah, I think I'm ready to order the metal plate and get started on this guy. So anyway, leave in the comments below what you think about this layout and this build. I think this one's going to be really super nice. And he's probably going to be using either EML or those PS Vane Summit tubes. And I've got some suggestions on the driver tubes. I really like those black coated CV181, which is a variant of a 6SN7 that the Shuggy Treasure-Z line made. And I've probably got about a dozen of those in stock because they sounded so good. I knew I'd want to sell them with the 300B amp so that I know it's going to sound good, and then let them source their output tubes. And I'm going to try to work a deal out with both PS Vane and with George up at Tubes USA, see if I can give the customer some sort of a discount coupon that if you buy one of these amps, you get a one-time discount buying the output tubes for the amp, and then you're dealing directly with them. I don't really want to be the middle person where if you have an issue with the tube, I want you to be able to go to the tube dealer. And you're not writing me up saying, hey, one of my tubes died, what do I do? And then I've just, yeah. Better off you buying the tubes. Now, if somebody wanted to, buy one of these super deluxe amps, and they wanted to, get maybe a starter set of tubes that they can't afford the amp and, $1,000 or $850 or whatever they are for a pair of really super nice output tubes, that I could hook you up with a set of the PS Vane Horizon tubes, which they sound nice, but they're not going to bring out all the detail and just the really great sound an amp like this could bring. So this is definitely a very different build than the base model, even though it's using the same circuit, but it's probably going to end up being about twice the price, if not a little more. And so it all comes down to what the parts cost, on what the amp's going to cost, and what you can afford to put in it. And obviously, these are going to cost a lot more than these. And while these may give you 90% of what these do, there is still that 10% in here that, you get to the point of diminishing returns, but there is something there. And I know these are what I listen to. My amp at home does not use those kind of transformers. But hey, when you're a limited budget, you have to do what you have to do. So anyway, I think this is going to be a super fun build. Also, this little guy that's sitting here, this was originally going to be a color preamp, but mistake of working late at night, I drilled all of the tube socket holes the wrong size, or punched them out the wrong size. So now I'm going to have to go ahead and punch them out even bigger to put octal sockets in, and we're going to build a color preamp with 6S7 tubes instead of 1287. So that's another project I need to finish up, because right now I don't have a preamp to listen to my KT120 monoblocks, which I just hate them sitting there not being used. And those are fun amps to listen to. So anyway, that's going to be a little project we're going to get on to and make good use of this one last oak chassis that I've got. And you may see I've got some other of these oak chassis stacked up here. We're going to be using those to build some KT88 monoblocks, which is another fun project. But that's not for today. We need to finish up these 300Bs and need to get this one rolling. The customer's already given me a down payment on it, and so he's committed. I need to get this thing finished, or at least get a good start on it. I was pretty clear to him it might be the end of the year before I get it all done, but hopefully I can get it done sooner than that. So anyway, if you're enjoying the base 300 or the top line 300, subscribe to the channel so you can follow along with this content. Please like the video. Put in the comments below again what you think of this build. I think this is awesome. I've never done one with all ISO iron, and it was really interesting that they had no problem custom winding a power transformer, and it's like, here's the voltages at the amperages and everything I need, and then shows up at my door, it's all done, ready to go. And so that was really cool that I could custom spec that. And you can talk to George again at Tubes USA. I'll put his website in the description. His phone number's on his website. Give him a call. Super nice guy to talk to. He's real easy to work with, and he's really helped me out a lot in my journey on these higher end tube products. And I don't think anybody else is building anything even close to comparable with what this amp's going to turn out like. There's folks out there selling $5,000 and $6,000 300B amps, and if you look at them, I go like, where are the output transformers? You don't even see them, and they're like, oh, they're on the inside. See those little guys there? Man, I put chokes in some of my amps that are bigger than those output transformers. And so you decide for yourself. There is something to the lamination and the inductance and all these big transformers provide. They give a sound that you just can't get from something that are smaller than these. But yeah, maybe I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. So anyway, hope you're enjoying this, and until the next video, have a nice day.